What's up, guys? Today we will be taking a look at the Galaxy S21 Plus. This phone got the Android 14 update, One UI 6, and so far it's been a really good experience. This phone will get the Android 15 update as well too. It got the 4-year pledge, so it launched with Android 11, 12, 13, 14, and then you get 15, and then it'll get security patches afterwards. So a few of you guys were asking me about this phone refresh. How is One UI 6? One UI 6 is fine on here. I think the phone actually got a little bit smoother as well too, animation wise. I think One UI 6 was a pretty good update as far as like the animations and smoothness. These phones are very smooth now. So the price update, this phone has come down a little bit in price. It's $234 now. So this is why I've always say just go with the S21 Plus, because the standard S21, which a few of you guys been asking me about, it's just, it's almost about the same, and I think most people want a bigger phone because the battery life is better in this phone as well too. But I will pick that phone up if enough people want to see it. But I do think this is the better phone. I think it makes more sense. The first things that popped out to me when you use this phone is that if you don't want the S21 Ultra, and because it has a slight curve to it, this phone has a pretty big display and it's completely flat as well too. It's a really nice display. It's dynamic AMOLED, it's 120 Hz, it's HDR10 plus, 1300 nits peak brightness at 6.7 inches. It's also 1080p 394 for the PPI, and it's overall just a beautiful display, as you guys can see here. Really no issues with the panel. Like I said, it's a pretty big phone, and also there's no curve to it. So if you do want an older flagship, you don't want the curve, but you want a bigger phone for a cheap price, this is really a perfect phone for you. So overall the display is beautiful. Like I said, outdoors does still fine at 1300 nits peak brightness. I think it still looks good. But yeah, I really like the display on this phone. It's just really vibrant, really colorful. Now the design still looks pretty good in 2024. I think a lot of people really like these, the older Samsung design with the cutout. I think it still gives it like that nice, cool kind of, sci-fi kind of look to it. And this one looks really nice. It's got the matte finish. It's also IP68 dust and water resistant as well too. Of course, glass and metal phone, and it just looks really good. So, and it's also a pretty thin phone as well too. It's not as heavy as you would think as well. So that's also something that I really like about this phone. Now the S21 Plus has a fantastic camera on it. It's got a 12 megapixel standard, 64 megapixel telephoto with 3 times hybrid zoom and the 1.1 optical zoom as well too. And then you also have a 12 megapixel ultra wide. It actually shoots up to 8K 24, and then has a 10 megapixel selfie that shoots 4K 60. And the image quality is still really good on this phone. It just takes great photos, especially if you're in good lighting. It's just going to give you a very good detailed shot. Really nice bright colors on here. It's just a great device to take pictures on. As you can see, just super detailed. I absolutely love the image quality on here. I really don't have any complaints, especially at this price point. It's a really good camera phone. The video also is better. Like I said, I think it beats just a lot of phones. My only issue with this phone, or just with the older Samsung phones in general, is that on the selfies it can make you like a very lighter skin tone, and I'm not like this light. I'm more like a brown color, but yeah, it can like really lighten the face, and then you have to go and kind of edit that every time you take a selfie and stuff like that. But other than that, I think the photos are just really good. Video is really solid on here. Alright, so let's talk about the overall processor. This phone, it does get kind of warm. All of the Snapdragon AAA phones do, including the S21 Ultra, the regular S21. I almost dropped it. But yeah, so it just kind of gets warm, guys. It hasn't crashed on me or anything like that. So on the base, we got 128 gigs of internal storage and 8 gigs of RAM. And yeah, I just, I like the gaming experience on here. Like for PUBG, this thing, it runs at smooth. What is that? Oh, is that 90 frames now? What happened to the, why doesn't it just say 90 frames anymore? Yeah, so it's extreme plus now, so it's just 90 frames, I'm assuming. But yeah, so it plays PUBG at really great settings. The screen is beautiful. and it'll do something, it'll play games for cheaper, much better than like something like a nothing phone or a lot of these new mid-range phones. It'll just do a much better job. But like I said, I've never had this phone like crash on me or anything like that. But like I said, it is on the warmer side for sure. But I haven't had any major performance problems. So let me know if you guys have an S21 Plus, and do you guys have any type of issues with the Snapdragon 888 chipset? Because like just playing games right now, I haven't really even been doing anything too intense, and it is a little bit warm. But yeah, overall the performance is top notch. I mean, it's really, really nice. If you put a case on it, you won't really notice, you know, the phone getting kind of warm. And like I said, no real, you know, heating problems going on here. Now, here are your Geekbench scores, so you can compare if you want to. Pretty good scores, as you can see. I think the phone is still like, it's very, very fast for the price that you're paying. The speakers still sound pretty good on the S21 Plus. So they sound pretty solid. It's a good amount of bass there. Overall, very nice speakers. If you cover the bottom one, I think the top speaker actually does a pretty good job at outputting a good amount of bass and volume. All right, let's talk about some additional stuff. So as far as software wise, it is a flagship phone, so it legit has everything that the newer phones have besides the AI stuff. Samsung desktop support is here, reverse wireless charging, Dolby Atmos. Like I said, pretty much everything besides like the AI stuff and the S Pen support. The fingerprint scanner, it is here and it does work extremely well. And this one, it is the ultrasonic one, so it's not the optical one. So this one works really fast. And yeah, so I do want to go ahead and talk about battery life. So battery life on this phone, this is why I said to get the S21 Plus instead of the S21, the regular one, because the battery life is just much better on the Plus, and it's around the same price. It's got a 4800 milliamp hour battery. It's got 25-watt charging on here as well too. And yeah, the battery life is just really good. You got wireless charging, reverse wireless charging. It's just so much better. It's noticeably better than the S21. So yeah, so this is a phone that I really like. I think that, you know, if you're in this budget, you should definitely consider. There's a lot of phones, you know, in this budget, but definitely consider this one. And I will catch you guys in the next one.